Present arms. Order arms.
Go that way. Have a seat, have a seat.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to another one of our Veterans Ministries. Could we begin, please, in a moment of prayer? Good morning again, Lord. We thank you for joining us again on this day when the men and women who have served in the armed forces of our country come together to seek your will and to give you praise. We are privileged this morning to have people to come and talk to us about a Heroes Night Out and a program that may be of some assistance to us. But we know, Lord, you are the true answer to all things. So open our hearts and our minds to be receptive to you being in our lives and our spirits. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
As I said, we're privileged this morning to have Carmen Valenzuela from the Heroes Night Out organization, which if you've checked their website out, they just do a million things to help veterans in situations like you are. So without further ado, Carmen, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Carmen Valenzuela, and this is Ruth Snow, and we're going to be talking to you about Heroes Night Out. First of all, I'd just like to thank you for, inviting us to do this. For me personally, this is out of my comfort zone, but anyway, getting to know the guys here a little bit earlier, they're making me feel a little bit at ease. I have assigned them the front row, the second row right here to be my cheerleader, okay? And also, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for serving our great country. Thank you. So, can everyone hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Ruth is going to be my clicker lady. Anyway, Heroes Night Out, it is a nonprofit organization. And it is geared toward providing services, resources, programs, and social events to the heroes in our community. And we consider our heroes our active duty soldiers, our veterans, first responders, and their families. And it's immersed in like a camaraderie of peers. Through this model, we believe that we can quickly identify some of the experiences that they go through, and we can also assess what type of resources they may need. First, a little bit about me. It has been about 8 years that I've been at Heroes Night Out, and I came to Heroes Night Out by way of a VA appointment. Little did I know my life would never be the same. At that time, I was not in a good mental space, if I can say that. I had been unemployed for 3 years before I came to Heroes Night Out, and that just made me feel like, to be honest, that I was worthless. Like I had nothing to give to be a productive individual, and let alone, I felt like I had nothing to give to my family, not alone my fellow veterans. And that's just how I was feeling at that time. I came to Heroes Night Out because the VA sent me there to do a psych evaluation. And this psych evaluation just confirmed about my depression. Even though I did not want to face the truth about that. After my session, it just so happens that Heroes Night Out was looking for office help or office support, employment. So I'm like, oh, okay. So today, I am honored to be a part of this extraordinary, awesome organization, which gave me a second opportunity to be a productive individual. The fact that Heroes Night Out hired me, even though I had my own issues, gave me so much confidence. It even gave me courage to learn and grow and to be able to stand before you and kind of stretch muscles of my people skills about being in the public. So I thank Heroes Night Out for that. Anyway, my confidence led to trust, and this trust enabled me to ask for resources and programs to help in my own transition from military to civilian life, which I believe is still a journey for me. And if it had not been for the safe, friendly environment that Heroes Night Out had created, you know, I really believe that I would just turn around and walk away. Because when I came in, it was this couple, and their names was Dolores and Mike McDowell. Mike McDowell, he is a Vietnam veteran. At the time, him and his wife was volunteering at Heroes Night Out. And when I came through the doors, his wife gave me this awesome hug and was like, "Welcome to Heroes Night Out." And so Mike McDowell, he came and shook my hand and said, "Welcome home, sister." And I just like almost bawled because I was saying, look, I should be telling you that. You know, you came before me. And for him to say that as a Vietnam veteran just kind of melted my heart away. And I just wanted to add that little part in there. But my desire now is to be able to impact the next hero that darkened the doors of Heroes Night Out, and to be able to present them with the appropriate resources that they need to better their life and their family's life. Also, as you see up there, I like outdoor activities. But I wanted to share with you also that I am a U.S. Army veteran. I served, all right, well, I served 7 years, 10 months, and 15 days United States Army as a food service sergeant.
Thank you.
And my job, or MOS, was at that time, way back in the day, was 94 Bravo. And it was my greatest joy to be able to feed the soldiers that came to visit our DFAC, or town hall. Of course, food service sergeants don't like the word town hall. If you want to know that.
That's what we call it.
But anyway, my specialty, by the way, was breakfast. So I inherit the name Sergeant Eggs. It was true. I could remember I could crack 4 eggs at a time on the grill. That was back in my younger days.
She still makes pretty good
I
breakfast.
can't do that now, but anyway, I currently live in the Fort Hood area. I am married to a veteran of 10 years, my husband. See him right there with that big bass. And my 2 dogs, Callie and Grace. And we live peacefully. We're in an area where we love open space, so we were very fortunate and blessed to be able to have a place where we can come home every day that's just a wide open space. Together, we have a blended family. My son, who's also a U.S. Army veteran, he served 3 years, our 2 daughters, and we have 6 grandchildren. And we just love outdoor activities, and we love to just support our, fellow veterans and heroes and their families. A little bit of history about Heroes Night Out. Heroes Night Out was founded by Wes and Judy Pierce back in 2008. And it all started with a $50 gift card to Chuck E. Cheese as a night out, which was presented to a family that was visiting one of their loved ones, a veteran or active duty soldier, at BAMC Hospital. It evolved into providing wallets full of gift cards for the heroes and their families at no charge. It further evolved into a resource center where we are now in Cedar Park. And we provide invaluable resources that, that our heroes may not know that they qualify for. The founders did retire in 2020, and they have passed the torch down to myself, Carmen, as a program director. Brandon Crook, as you see his slide on the next slide, he's the executive director, and also Ruth Snow. She's our office manager now. And I want to pass it to Ruth. Maybe she can tell you a little bit about herself. She's my wing lady, okay? She's awesome.
Good morning, y'all. I came to Heroes Night Out actually through Wounded Warrior Project. I went on a walk and talk, and it was myself, Mike Rash, and Brandon. And Brandon was talking about Heroes Night Out, and I told him, I said, I've been up there a few times over the years, and nobody was ever in the office when I showed up. So he says, well, things have changed. So I started going back again in about around October of 2020. I started volunteering in February of 2020. And as of February of this year, I'm officially the new office manager. I am also a veteran. I was a CV for 7 years. I did a couple deployments. My first one was to Okinawa, Japan, where I placed a lot of concrete, like a lot. Went to Homeport, took every class that I could take, and then I was a RDC for the U.S. Naval Sea Cadets. I loved that 10 days of being an RDC and telling kids how to become a sailor. And then I deployed to Iraq in '03, and then we redeployed to Guam right after that, and I was medically discharged after. But it is what it is, and you carry on and figure out what you gotta do next. It took me 20 years, almost 20 years to find Heroes Night Out. So.
Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad about that. And that's what Heroes Night is all about, is connecting. So, would you like to know what type of resources and programs that we have? Okay. I'm glad you asked. Well, we believe that peer-to-peer support is the foundation that creates our safe environment for our heroes to ask for help. Some peer interactions include outdoor activities, like kayaking, fishing. Some are our weekly activities. Donuts and coffee like you guys had this morning is on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. to 11, and the guys come and just shoot the breeze. Sometimes there are fights that break out, but it's okay.
You know what happens when y'all get together for 2
Yes, you guys are in trouble, and gals too. Some are our monthly events. We have what we call a peer dinner and a show. Because of COVID, we were doing the drive-through format, where we just take the meals and ask the heroes to drive to the back of our building, and we would just pass out the to-go meals, and they would just drive off, which was really good. But good news, this August, we're gonna start our sit-down dinner, and the sit-down dinner will be inside of our facility. Another meal that we were doing monthly was called the Take and Bake meals. The Take and Bake meals were sponsored by Reveal Resource Center and Jail to Jobs, another couple of organizations that we partner with. And what they do, they prepare a whole meal for the entire family, where you take the meal home and then you bake it, which was great. Another monthly event was called the Fireside Chats. And I'll let Ruth tell you about the Fireside Chats because she actually attends those monthly meetings.
Fireside Chats are the last Saturday of every month, provided we have enough participation, because we put out an RSVP. It is for veterans only, no family allowed, because this is where we want to try to get a little nitty-gritty with some of our conversations and not have to worry about offending somebody's spouse or watch out what we say around somebody's children, because, it's hard to, keep your mouth in check 24/7. So it's a place to kind of let loose. We sit around the fire behind the Heroes Night Out and just shoot the breeze.
Is that something that you guys would like to do? It seems like you're good at shooting the breeze.
They're masters.
They're masters, I believe it.
I have a question.
Sure.
What's the cost of joining
Zero, it's free.
Oh.
Yes, sir. All the resources, programs, services, events that Heroes Night Out provides is absolutely no cost or no obligation. So we welcome you all to come check it out. So our peer-to-peer dinner
No, there it is.
that we're gonna have as a sit-down in August, and the dinner's gonna be sponsored by, check this out, Longhorn Steakhouse. Yes, they're gonna be providing the meal for August. So if you'd like to sign up, please let us know before we leave. But anyway, this dinner, its main purpose is to build camaraderie and community with our fellow veterans and their family members.
Where's it at? Where's it at again?
It's in Cedar Park, 1150 South Bell Boulevard in Cedar Park. I think it's about 20 minutes from here.
It's on the Twin Lakes Fellowship.
Yes, Twin Lakes
Campus.
Fellowship Campus. Yes. And so what I love about this sit-down dinner is that it is a buffet style. You come in and you are served by some of the volunteers that we have that are faithful volunteers. I don't know if you're familiar with the Young Men's Service League, but the Young Men's Service League, they come in and they volunteer their time to serve our heroes. They get them drinks, they serve their food, and after the meal, there's a magic show that's performed. And the magic show is for the children. However, that's one of my favorite parts as an adult.
Children of all ages.
Thank you, children of all ages. So the magic show is just really a plus. And the entertainer that coordinates all the magic shows, he's also a retired Marine veteran. Marine veteran, sorry, excuse me, retired. But as you can see from the photos, it's really a fun event. The children really, really love it. It's just awesome. Next, we will have our quarterly events. Which is bring your guests to coffee and donuts. And we have it on a quarterly basis. And whoever your guest is, you can just bring them and they can shoot the breeze with you. Also, we have what we call our Adventure for Heroes. And remember I was telling you about our outdoor activities? Well, we have quarterly events, and some of the outdoor activities include, going to a gun range, shooting the bow, kayaking, fishing, whatever. And keep in mind that all of this is absolutely free, not only for you, but for your whole family. Oh, Ruth has something to add to that.
We have a defensive handgun class taught by a retired FBI agent, July 23rd in the center. There are no live rounds allowed for this. However, he goes over how to properly hold your handgun and what to do in an actual situation if somebody was breaking into your home or whatever the case may be. And then there's the range that happens after you've completed the first part of the class. There's the sit-down portion of the class that's out at Reveille Peak in Burnett. So that's just one of the quarterly events that we have.
Thank you, Ruth. And now some are our annual events. We have, every year we do have a Veterans Luncheon for our heroes, and that's also done at the center in Cedar Park. We have what we call our Thank a Vet Thanksgiving, and in that time of year, I think it's around the third weekend of the month. We provide food baskets to our heroes, and I have to emphasize that it's not about the need, but this is just something that we do to say thank you for your service. So just keep that in mind.
Last year we gave out 200 turkeys the Saturday before Thanksgiving. That's 200 meals for the vets.
Yes, that's very, very awesome. Also, we have what we call the Women's Appreciation Brunch. It is for women veterans. It's done the second Saturday of every year. And in observance of Women's History Month, the founder, Miss Judy Pierce, she did like a pop-up like a few years ago, and she invited 12 women veterans. And it turned out to be so great. This year we had about 40 women veterans that attended this appreciation brunch. And this appreciation brunch was done to observe Women's History Month and to thank our women veterans for what they also contribute to America's history. Then we just had our Heroes Appreciation Barbecue. Now, this is one of our largest events. I think this year we had close to 1,500. This was always done on Memorial Day weekend at the venue of Reunion Ranch in Georgetown. And this is free barbecue. The amenities that's on the campgrounds there was all free. They had bingo, oh my God, raffles. It was just a good time. And all of this was absolutely free, not only for you, but for your whole family. So hopefully we'll see you guys next year at that event as well.
We also had about 70 veteran service organizations and vendors out there this year.
Yes, so if you want to come and set up a booth out there to let our heroes know that you're aware. Yes, sir? The generosity of the public and organizations like you all. So, yes, that's where we get our funding from. Also, maybe state or federal grants, also, that's included. But yes, the generosity of people. The next event that we have yearly is called our Heroes Family Christmas. And this is a service that we provide every year. And it's for our heroes who may have challenges providing Christmas gifts for their children for Christmas. And what our job is to seek out sponsors to sponsor these families. Once the families have been vetted, of course, and once the sponsors are married up with the families, they will provide the Christmas gifts for these families. In the past, since COVID, we had to do what we call, I guess, a drive-by, drop-off gift. So we had volunteers that volunteered once the gifts were purchased and they brought them all to the center. They volunteered to actually drop the Christmas gifts off in person at their doorstep last year. It was amazing. And keep in mind that, you know, heroes really don't like to ask for help. So it was basically by ear. You may be talking and you may see a need of a family and the family does not even ask. So we just take it upon ourselves and, hey, I see this need. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in as a candidate for, you know, Christmas sponsorship. And I tell you, it's just a joy to see that. Me personally, that's my favorite type of year because I get to see or have the opportunity to see that families is not stressing about financial obligations for that type of year to provide for their kids. I mean, who doesn't want to have Christmas gifts for their kids or grandkids, you know? So that type of year is so special to me because they don't have to worry about any type of financial burden. And, you know, that's just amazing. And the gratitude that the families share is just unbelievable. So if you are interested in being a sponsor for a family this Christmas, just please let us know. Okay, now I'll talk about a few of the on-site resources. We are so fortunate that the DAV will be providing claims representative at the center. I think it's Thursdays now to help veterans with their claims. And that is on site. We also have Honor Audiology, and what they do, they give free hearing testing. Can you hear me? Yes. Hearing testing. Free for veterans. Also, we have the Cochrane Group, and they specialize in Medicare and Medicaid. They can provide you with information on additional Medicaid and Medicare along with your retirement or whatever. And if you have any questions about any type of health care needs, the Carmen Group is there to assist you in that. Also, we do have PTSD counseling for our heroes coming from the Austin Vet Center once a week. That's twice a week now. Oh yeah, we have an extra counselor, so that's great. Twice a week, and it's they're at the center as well. It's by appointment, so that's another service that we were so glad to have an extra counselor there. Also, the Military Veteran Peer Network is also another organization that we partner with, and they will be there as well. They offer peer-to-peer support for all our heroes as well. Let's see. And some of our community partners or resources. Wow, as you can see, it's quite a few there, okay. Through our foster relationships with community leaders and other organizations such as yours, Heroes Night Out can connect appropriate resources, for our heroes. Goodwill Veteran Services, they offer financial assistance. Texas Veterans Commission, they offer help with employment for our veterans, and also the Wilson County Veteran Services help with claims also. The Texas Workforce, we do resources or referrals to them as well. Catholic Charities of Central Texas, they help with job skills, resumes, even financial assistance. And the VA Home Loan Specialist, George Lorgan. He helps with any type of information, or if you're looking to buy a home using your VA loan, he is also available. The next thing I would like to talk about, I already talked about it, was the Christmas. Because it's my favorite time of year. And this is an inspiring story. And like I said before, the Heroes Family Christmas is a service that sponsors heroes who are in need of financial assistance in providing Christmas gifts for their kids. Last year we had provided 19 families and 48 children with Christmas gifts, which is really awesome. And these are just some of the pictures of some of the volunteers that came to offer their help in dropping off those Christmas gifts to their front doorsteps. The second story I like to share is, I call it coming back to say thank you. I say this because in about maybe 2015 or 2016, we had a veteran to come to the center, and right away we noticed that he was experiencing bad behavior, anger outbursts, along with other severe PTSD symptoms. He began to attend a peer group there, which was great, on a regular basis. However, his rudeness and all of his issues did not, decline. So Heroes Night Out continued to show kindness, continued to listen to him as well, and just try to continue to show support to him. So one day, the peer group decided to check on him because they had not seen him for maybe about a month or two. They reached out to him, and he just said, "No, I do not want any help, leave me alone." He was just he just didn't want any help. So you really can't help someone that doesn't want to receive the help. So we just left him alone. And he left that day very abruptly, and no one knew what happened to him. Until last month, this same guy came back to Heroes Night Out, and he recognized me. I didn't recognize him. And he gave me this big, giant hug, and he said, "First of all, I want to apologize to everybody or Heroes Night Out, because I know that I left acting like a donkey." But these are the words that he said. He said, "If it had not been for Heroes Night Out listening to him and showing him kindness, even though he was being a donkey," but he said the other word, "he would have gone down a different path." And that different path, unfortunately, we all know, suicide. And I have to address that. I know if you all have heard of 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Well, I know I researched, the number has gone down to 17, which is better than it was. But we believe that Heroes Night Out, that is like I would say a safety net before it comes to that. if we provide that peer support, those listening skills, and be patient with those that are coming through that door, because we don't know their situation, we don't know what they're going through or what they've been through, we believe that Heroes Night Out can help prevent that. So if you are a veteran, or if you know someone that has experienced some type of hardship mentally or whatever, please call the Veterans Crisis Hotline.
For those of y'all that are hard of hearing, they also accept text.
Okay.
Putting that out there.
I'm
I know
sorry.
from experience.
That's a sensitive subject for me too, but anyway, that's what I love about Heroes Night Out, because they do listen. They do offer peer support, and they're there for you. The impact, I would say by the numbers, we served about 7,500 heroes annually, about 450 heroes a month, and that includes all our weekly activities and monthly activities as well. So with everything considered, this year, it costs about $150,000 to continue to provide support and networking services for our heroes. Heroes Night Out could not continue to serve our community's heroes without generous support from our public, volunteers, and organizations like yours. We believe that the process of making an impact on only one of our heroes is worth it. So ways you can help us continue our mission: you can volunteer, sponsor an event, and donate. You can visit our website. Our website has a wealth of information. And if you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to ask. And I wanted to thank you for your undivided attention. And right now, we would like to open the floor. If anyone has any questions about Heroes Night Out, please feel free to ask. Yes, sir.
What is the area that you cover?
We cover Williamson County, Travis County, anywhere from even Fort Hood area, down south, San Antonio. It just depends. Because we get calls from all over the state of Texas, and even from other states.
We have the one brick and mortar in Cedar Park, where it's just the three of us out there working. We do get volunteers that come in occasionally and help with the day-to-day running of things, but for the most part, it's Brandon, Carmen, and myself running things, taking calls and connecting veterans to the resources that they need.
Yes, sir.
Is this a single local organization or is it nationwide?
It is not nationwide, sir. That is our ultimate goal.
That's our 10-year plan.
But the founders, Mr. West and Judy Pierce, they started this with their own fundings. It started in their house. They had 12 kids. 5 of their sons served in the military. So they understand what the needs are with the families when our heroes are off abroad in war and different things like that. So they took it upon themselves to start this with their own funding. So it is a nonprofit, 501c3.
I thought you used the hospital over there.
Pardon?
The hospital?
Yes, the hospital in, where you are.
Oh, the regional Cedar Park?
Yes.
Regional? Oh, we're like maybe 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Yes, we're right off of 1431. It's close around there.
183.
183?
We're off of 183.
Yes.
So, you gotta go down to 183, old 183,
Mhm.
to get to us. We're down by the YMCA.
I haven't been there.
Okay.
Yes, on the hill.
Yeah, up on the hill, and there's a Twin Lakes Fellowship,
Yeah.
and we're on their campus.
Yes.
You're on the fellowship.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. They rent out the facility to Heroes Night Out, so we're very fortunate for that as well. Any other questions? Well, we want to thank you for your time. We
Thank
appreciate
you very
that.
Got all your stuff?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it. And anyone who has any questions can go to your website, and I'm sure all the information's there, or call you on the number you provided, and I'll put an email out with the information for the websites and stuff after this. Thank you. If you welcome to stay, or you can, oh, you got some brochures? Okay,
Send them around.
pass them around. Thank you again. Okay, the next part of our program is 2 years ago this month, I received a phone call from Brother Sal asking me if I would be interested in taking the lead on a veterans ministry. And to be quite honest, I was not over enthusiastic about it. And then I met for lunch with Pastor Maury and Sal, and they convinced me that there was an urgent need for this and the thing, and I've since become a believer. So Pastor Maury's been the driving force from the pastors. I know Pastor Kelly was also, but the guy that was involved every day. He got Patty Ott, who's now, thank you, she's gone to help. And he's been the driving force the whole time for this thing. So as you know, he's decided to change careers, if you will, and he's gonna go over and work for a living now on a working ranch. And I've asked him if he would like to come and say a farewell address to the people that he started this whole thing as his baby. So Pastor Moore, please.
Hoorah, good morning. Any day you're upright and vertical, it's a good day, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is great. This is great. When I came back from my first deployment to Iraq, I came home and I went down to the local VFW, and I was severely disappointed. Smoke-filled bar with like half a dozen guys sitting around the bar doing nothing. And I thought, this is it? I joined anyway. I became a life member. I carry my VFW card, and I'm proud to be a member of the VFW, but I was just disappointed in the lack of direction, the lack of focus, the lack of purpose. It's got to be more than just a club that you belong to and hang out and drink and go to bingo night and eat spaghetti on Tuesday night. I wanted more. And all these years later, we have it right here in this room. We have what veterans need. The whole being, body, mind, spirit. We need the fellowship. We need the support. We don't get me wrong. I mean, I like to have an occasional shiner Bach with a good buddy. You know, I'm not saying that. Enjoy, but enjoy responsibly and go deeper. You know, we've lived life long enough that we know we've got to go deeper now. We've got to talk about the things that are really important to us and the things that are really troubling us. And I thank you for all the opportunities that I've had as I look around the room to go deep with each one of you and talk about things that we've experienced and things we've gone through. No matter what the war, what the deployment, there are commonalities that we all share. No matter what the branch of service, there are commonalities that we share in our experiences in serving the nation. Less than 1% of the nation wears the uniform. Only 17% of that percent serve the nation long enough to retire. 17% of the 1%. It's a very small number, actually. I have a brother who served 32 years in the United States Coast Guard. He's retired down in League City, what's it called? League City, Texas, down by NASA. I have another brother who only served 3 years in the Army. It was during the Cold War, peacetime, didn't go anywhere, and he doesn't think he did anything. He doesn't think he did anything. He did his part at his time, and like when we go to veterans events, you know, he won't stand. He won't allow himself to be acknowledged or recognized. He doesn't think he did anything. And I think no matter what you did, where you did it, when you did it, if you wore the uniform, okay? It's important to stand and be recognized. It's important to stand and be recognized, whether you wore it for 3 years or 30 years. So I came back and I was very disappointed in the VFW because what I was looking for, I find here. You know, it's more than just having a beer at the bar, smoking and joking, watching golf or whatever they've got up on the big screens. I mean, come on. There's got to be more. And so I love Dave's vision. Dave, I can't see you. There he is. I love Dave's vision. Dave really helped us shape the vision for this. Right? So what drives this is fellowship, education, and outreach. I love that. All right? And we already do some service projects. You know, we do the wreath laying at the cemetery, the Veterans Cemetery, great project. We do the wreath pickup at the Veterans Cemetery, great project. We do the Veterans Dinner that comes along every year. And it was in here last year. Y'all remember it? It was packed. It was a great event. At the end of the event, we did a Johnny on the spot. Everybody stand up here and take a photo. And I have that photo in my office. And it's an awesome photo of all the veterans that attended that dinner. But I love the vision, Dave, and I encourage you to keep going with it. Fellowship, outreach, and education. Because that's essential to the growing soul. So no matter what phase of life we're in, no matter how old or young we are, the soul is always growing. It's always changing. Or it gets stuck, and you don't want to get stuck. That's when bad things happen. So on my first deployment, we had a number of Native Americans in our unit, and they were great. They're great scouts. They're great warriors, great fighters. And they would say they're funny. They would say, you know, we'd wake up in the morning, we'd be getting our gear together, getting out ready to go do a patrol, and they would say, today is a good day to die. Today's a good day to die. All right, today's a good day to die. But I don't want to die, so don't let me die. You know, it just that's where we were living. And those guys came home and they did something different. They entered into their Native American traditions for warriors coming home. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that real quick. And maybe use this to stimulate some of our thinking. When they come home as warriors, they're not allowed to enter the village. So most of these guys came from the Standing Rock Reservation up in the Dakotas. They're not allowed to enter the reservation. They have to stay outside. They have to wear their battle uniform. The elders of the village go out to them and they sit with them and they listen to their stories. Think about that for a minute. What is our equivalent for that? In our white culture, what is our equivalent? What do we do? Once they listen to their stories, some of them will sweat. They'll go on the sweat lodge, but they have to take off their battle dress. And then the women of the village and the girls of the village come out with robes, fresh, clean, traditional robes, and they wrap the warrior. And they have a dance. They celebrate. Drums, and they circle, the warriors sit in the middle and they circle the warriors. And then they escort them into the village. Think about that. Does that touch you at all? It touches me very deeply. Because we need that and we don't get it. Some of you need that. You've needed that for 50 years and you haven't got it. Just telling the story, I realize how much I need it. I don't tell a lot of people, but I can tell y'all, you're my trusted brothers and sister. Sister Greta back there. But I have a disability rating for PTSD. Some of you probably figured that out from the stories that I tell. I'm considered what's called high functioning. And I think I'm high functioning because of three things: faith, hope, and love. because of God, because of my family and my church, my friends. You can rise above it. I'm experiencing. But the hardest thing about it is, you see, I didn't believe I had PTSD. I didn't want to have PTSD. Screw the rating. I didn't want that. I wanted to just be whole. So the best way for me to do that was I focused on my job. I took care of everybody else. And after my second deployment, I came home and I realized I need help. And they wanted to put me in a program at Camp Atterbury, sleep study, medications, experiments, testings, keep me here for about 6 more months. And I said, can I just go home to the family that I love and that loves me? And they said, yes, you can. I said, because I got a formula for healing, faith, hope, and love. They said, okay, go, you can go do that. But will you do one thing? Will you check in at the VA clinic once a week? I said, sure. So I went to the VA clinic and I met a counselor named Penny. And Penny helped me a lot. Penny helped me realize that my brain had been traumatized by the combat stress, by the experiences that I've been through, that we had been through. I walked in the room, she said, she had my file, and she said, you were in the Sunni Triangle. 03 to 05, 15 months. You guys went through a really hard time. And it just melted me. I mean, I just collapsed in her office. And she's a veteran, she never deployed, but she understood what we had been through. And I said, how did you know where I had been and what we'd been through? She said, because I talked to all your brothers. They come see me too. They tell me their stories. So Penny helped me understand. The analogy she used was a forest fire. I had recently been to the Yellowstone National Forest, which was scorched by fire back in the 80s. Y'all remember that? I mean, they let it free burn. Oh, it's nature's way. Don't stop it, let it burn. Like, almost burned the whole thing down. And I'd gone up there in the 90s, early 90s, to look at that, and just, scorched earth. It was just ugly. But you could see little green sprigs, little trees starting to shoot back up through all the destroyed, damaged stuff. And she said, that's what's going on in your brain. It's scorched by the trauma. But given the proper conditions, sunlight, soil, water, air, that forest is going to regrow. That's what happens to it after a forest fire. And given the proper conditions, the brain can heal itself from trauma. Faith, hope, love, community, support. So I just share that with you because this is, I want to use the word magical. It's powerful. It's real. It's awesome. You need it, I need it, we need it. There are others who need what we have here. Okay? So I just want to thank Dave for the opportunity to share with you this morning and to charge you. I want to charge you. Don't let this die. And don't keep it to yourself. You've got to share it. You've got to give it away. And by giving it away, you invite new guys. And I'm not going to embarrass you, but anybody here for the first time today, would you just raise your hand? Okay, we got 2, 3, 4 guys here. That's great. Great, welcome. Welcome to you guys. Veterans often don't know what they need. They don't know what they need until they feel it, experience it, come to a meeting like this and go, wow, that touched me. I needed that. So I charge you to keep it going and pass the torch. There are veterans your age, there are veterans younger, and there are even veterans even younger than that, who eventually realize that this doesn't satisfy. We're made for human connections. Ed Tick wrote a book. You might want to check it out. It's called War in the Soul. It's something I've studied for the last probably 10 years. He's got several books, but War in the Soul is the basic primer for Ed Tick's material. And in there, you'll see stories about the Native American culture and other ways that people heal and recover from their military service. So just share that with you for ideas. Service is ongoing. We say in the Army, we now call retiree, like myself, as of 1 September, Soldiers for Life. Soldiers for Life program means that you're a soldier. You know, you have that mindset, you have it built into your soul. No matter what branch of service that you were in, you understand what it means to serve the nation. One of my things that bugs me about veterans is that when they want all the free stuff, you forgot. Don't get distracted by the shiny free stuff. That's not why we do it. We do it because we love the nation. I don't care about the free steak. I mean, I'll take the free steak, don't get me wrong. But that's not why I do what I do. And it annoys me when young people join the service to get the free stuff. Get my disability, get. You gotta give. You gotta give before you get. That's what I tell them. The Army will take care of you, the military will take care of you, the VA will take care of you. But you gotta give before you start talking about getting. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So keep giving. Keep passing it along. We have service projects. We do different things. Disaster response. Gary Cluck's sitting over there. He can tell you more about that. Arnie can tell you about it. Gene can tell you about it. Any of these guys can tell you about our disaster response team, our service projects. Keep serving. Keep giving. That's part of the healing. That's part of our identity. Part of our calling. Calling as warriors for life. For life. So don't get distracted by the free shiny stuff, okay? You hear what I'm saying? I mean, if you get some free stuff, enjoy your steak. That's fine. It feels good. Oh, I got a free steak. That was nice. But that's not why we do it. We all took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Because we love our country. We love our way of life. We love our communities and our families. So let love continue to be your motivation. I'm going to pass the torch to Daniel. He's going to be the pastor now that works with this group of veterans. So Daniel, God bless you. Welcome. Thank y'all. God bless you. Love y'all.
I've been usurped here. Go ahead. She was in the Army. They don't know anything about that.
I'm a pilot. I don't want to break it before I use it. I just wanted to say thank you, Maury. That was very touching. And it also, God laid on my heart that I needed to share this with you. My son is in the Air Force in Germany. And that makes me a Blue Star mother. I belong to the Williamson County Blue Star Mothers of America. We love to serve our community. We serve the active duty. We serve the veterans, the retired. We're all mothers, and we all love our military. And in so doing, one of the things that we support H&O. I don't know if any of you came out to Reunion Red. We serve the meal. The Blue Star Mothers did. So in serving our community, we also want to serve the active duty. And what we do is we prepare care packages for these individuals. I have at my house right now 36 boxes of care packages that are set to go to Germany on Tuesday when the post office opens for these military members who live in the barracks. In most of those places overseas, these kids don't have cars. They don't have any way to get around because a lot of those bases and installations are not located near a large city. And so I know when I was in Germany as a leader there, I had one of my soldiers committed suicide. I had another soldier that got so drunk because they didn't have anything else to do, and they were, what do you call that when you use the funnel? Yeah, doing that. He got, he threw up and he drowned in his own vomit. So these kids don't have any place to go, and so their life is really not as much fun as you and I would think. Oh, hey, you're going to Germany, yay! You know, you're get to go see this and that. Well, they don't have a car. It's hard to get transportation. It's hard for them to actually see the community. So if we can just provide them a little care in a little box, that kind of makes their day. And so what I'm asking you all is, as an outreach, is if you want to contribute to, we do this quarterly. And so we already for this quarter and next quarter, because I had a list of 72 names, and I said I can't do 72 names in one fell swoop, so we're doing half and half. But if you would care to donate anything for this venture, I don't know, I might be asking out of turn here, but we are a nonprofit, 501c3, so it would be a tax deductible donation to the Wilco Blue Star Mothers, Texas 15, if you wanted to contribute to that effort. Enough said.
See, this Air Force knows how to do that. I was reminded when Pastor Maury was talking about the serving and we don't do it for the free stuff. I was watching a show last month of a Special Forces guy that was commenting on the movie Private Ryan. And he said that what upset him about, the only thing upset him about the movie was at the end when Tom Hanks was dying and he said, "Earn this." And he said, that's not what a Special Forces guy would say. He would say, when thanks, that's why we serve. You see, I'm wearing, speaking of free, if it's free, it's me, is the motto of Sun City, as you know. And about 14 or 15 of us have been on the recent honor flight program that Austin has. And just to clarify, there's been some confusion about the qualifications. It used to be you had to have a Vietnam service ribbon, and you had to have been in Vietnam. Now, not true. The only requirement for Steve Quackenbush is that you served prior to May of 1975, anywhere. Because even though you may not have gone to Vietnam, you were eligible to be called. And the thing that I heard something at the meet and greet before you go on it that I'd never heard said that way before, and it was the sponsor of the Venturi Capital Wealth Management Program who underwrote this trip 74 that I was on.
Wow.
And he said, when you enlist or sign up and take the oath, you basically sign and give to the government a blank check. And they can cash that at any time they wish for any value, including your life. And I never thought about it that way. It's the old, the mottos, but that's really true. You sign a blank check because any day they can call you and say, I don't care if you're in the reserve, the guard, or IRR, they can come and get you, and most of us willingly go. So anyway, the other point that I want to make is organizations like Heroes Night Out are great, and I believe God uses them to help people. Organizations like Honor Flight Austin are great, and they are used, but they're not the answer. Why we're meeting together as Christians and believers is God is the answer.
Yes.
And the hardest thing that I do in this capacity is trying to figure out how to get these small breakouts to work. We've been fortunate, we've got a whole bunch of motivated facilitators that help, and we try every month to come up with discussion topics to get you going. But the whole intent of the fellowship is not what we have. Many, many opportunities for fellowship within the worship place. And that's come together, meeting somebody saying, how you doing, how's it going, how's the wife, how's the kids, what's going on, how's your last round of golf, whatever you do. But what this is about is knowing that there's someone out there like me that's facing some of the things I'm facing that I trust and I can go talk to about it. And because we are who we are, we're going to bring Jesus into that equation because he is the answer. I talked several months, probably about 6-7 months ago, a book that I was turned to, and I read it, and it was Billy Graham's last book called Nearing Home. And it's an excellent, excellent book in which he talks about what he went through. So many people think that retirement is about financial security. I've got my 401k, I got my pension, and that's what life is about. And guess what? That's important, because you like food with your meals, but having financial security is not the answer. Because you're going to go through what he went through. You're going to go through, I used to be somebody, nobody really cares what I think anymore. I used to be able to do this, and I can't do it anymore. My health is failing, my spouse's health is failing. I may have lost a spouse. All these things are going to, and it doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank, ain't going to help. Honor Flight Austin is a great diversion. It's a great emotional time to be recognized for things maybe you never were. Honor Heroes Night Out is great. All these things that the VA does, free hearing aids, all those things are really great. But if you don't know that if your life now is not about serving something other than your own personal interests, it's about serving God, because he has all the answers. We don't. We can facilitate. That's our job. Facilitate, bring people to bring Jesus into the equation. So on these breakout groups, and by the way, I'm going to do an audible this morning since we only have, there's no such thing in the military as a 5-minute break. So rather than go into our breakouts today, I'm just going to ask you to think about, by the way, for July, everybody seems to be out of town. We're not going to have a formal program in July, but I'm going to be here with coffee at 8:30, and anybody who wants to come for just some fellowship time. It'd be a great time if we have some discussion groups for people that think, I'd like to share something. You know, we're all a little reluctant. In the military, wimps have problems. You know, real men, real women, tough people don't have problems. We suck it up and we deal with it.
Yeah.
But they just fester and they get worse.
Yeah.
So next month in July, it'll be on the third Monday, whatever that is, I forget. No need to register. I'm just going to show up. There'll be coffee here and whatever. And we just come and talk, and then we'll plan our next program for August. So with that, is there anybody here that had anything else they'd like to share or something they'd like to bring up? Yes, sir.
As far as Honor Flight Austin, when I took it, one thing that we run into a lot, and I asked that question was, I don't feel like I deserve it. He said, they asked that question that so often. And he said, did you lose any friends while you were in the military? Oh, yeah. Go for them. Go for it.
Yes, go just nothing more than standing in front of those memorials and thinking about the people that didn't come home is humbling enough experience. Yes, that's the thing that so many people feel, I didn't deserve it. You know, I served them, but you know, I'm over there. But I was in the headquarters in Saigon, and I didn't see any combat. The worst thing I ever did was carry a pistol with me when I went to and from my quarters. And a lot of you did see some awful things. We had Paul share his testimony of what he saw. So we're going there for everybody, and here again, if it's something that you're not comfortable doing, that's a personal decision, but they really, it's an emotion. You can't share it because it's the worst kept secret in the world, but we can't share what goes on. But it's awesome to see people that you never knew how much they appreciate what kids coming up to you and saying, thank you so much for your service. It's really a moving thing. So unless someone else has something else they'd like to add, we're going to waive there's still some coffee in there and still some sweet rolls if you want those. But let's close in prayer, please. Dear Lord, thank you for this time to come together. And hopefully we've learned some things that may motivate us to want to participate in Heroes Night Out. But mostly, Lord, we're glad that you're here with us. We know that you love us. We know you have answers. We know you have a plan for us. Help us to seek that plan and to reinforce that you are God, and be still and know that he is God. And let me reach out to those who are in need, and let me ask for help if I need help. And I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you all for coming.